Greetings everybody from the BPF. My name is Peter Davis. I'm the Director General, and this is the first broadcast on the BPF channel. What I want to do is just to say a few words about how we're starting 2009 and to talk about some of the difficult business conditions where you're experiencing and we are experiencing, but also some opportunities and some other key issues as well. Of course, we have a difficult recession at the present time. We're seeing particularly a very bad effect in the housing market on all of you who supply into that sector, and also the automotive market as well. In housing, there's an underlying heavy demand for more housing caused by a high divorce rate and ageing population, meaning more single households. We also have a large number of immigrants have come into the country as well. So the underlying demand is there. What has gone wrong is the finance, of course, for financing building and indeed for mortgages as well. Similarly with the car sector, the only people that do well through the 50% slump in new car sales are the MOT test centres. Inevitably, sooner or later, there will have to be a pickup in car sales as well. But those two sectors particularly are badly affected at the present time. The government have, of course, given us a bewildering array of new initiatives. Each week something new comes out, and we are very anxious to keep the government informed about how you are finding business conditions in your particular part of the industry. So we've just sent out a BPF business conditions questionnaire. It's confidential, and we would appreciate you returning that to us as soon as you can, so that we can relay to government and the Bank of England exactly what you're finding in the marketplace, what your customers are finding, and also remedies as well. What can we do about all of this, whether we're the BPF or whether we're government officials? We have a number of ideas of how we could tackle this. We do think there should be a temporary national loans guarantee scheme for companies of all sizes. Government have brought out one for just SMEs. We feel that the problems apply to companies of all sizes, and we would like to see a scheme for everyone who can fit the criteria. We'd like to see the same for credit insurance, which is a big problem as well. On the housing market, we would like to see government commit to the proposals from Crosby on guaranteeing £100 billion of mortgage-backed securities in 2009 and 10. We'd like to see VAT reduced on all housing energy-efficient products, and we'd like government to speed up its programmes on sociable, affordable housing. On general taxation, we would like to see a 12-month freeze on business rates, which we feel will help everybody, and for the government not to proceed with its wishes to give councils the power to levy a supplementary business rate from April 2010. That would be absolutely the worst thing to happen when companies hopefully are starting to perhaps see some signs of recovery. We also want the April increases in the vehicle excise duty and the fuel duty, which the government has scheduled. We would like to see them scrapped, because the last thing we want is more increases in taxation which affect motoring at the present time. We also feel the climate change levy, which is very controversial in our industry, should be suspended for the duration of the crisis, or at very least the tax rate halved. And we would also like to see empty property rates suspended for all companies too. So as you can see, we have a range of suggestions which we want to feed into government. But we do need you to answer that questionnaire to guide us in the real actual problems that you are experiencing. The BPF Council will be meeting inside the Bank of England on the 27th of January. We will be joined by Bank of England officials who will hear from our members what actually they are experiencing in the marketplace, and we'll be discussing what we can do about it as well. Now, I've spoken about adversity and difficult conditions. What I'd like to also talk about is opportunities as well. And whatever you think about it, the sterling has dropped substantially in value against other currencies, and this is an opportunity for export. We've just taken firms to the Arab Plastic Show in Dubai. Dubai is a very important future market for plastics. It will also be an important production centre for raw materials as well. And the next show we're taking companies to will be Plast India in New Delhi, from the 4th to the 9th of February. We're taking a large number of our companies with us there. We also have a large mission as well. And for those of you that want to explore the Indian market for the first time, do consider coming on the mission. It's an inexpensive way of finding out whether this market could be for you and for your company. Later in the year we'll be going to Plaspol in Poland, another important plastics market, and also to China Plaza in China as well. Finally, I'd like to talk a little bit about used plastics. Our policy, the British Plastics Federation policy on used plastics, we don't like calling them waste because they are a resource, is that we really don't want any plastics going into landfill at all. They should be recycled, and the good news is recycling is rising substantially in the UK. If it's not economic or environmental to recycle them, then they should go to energy from waste. Now, this week we've had a report from the highly regarded National Audit Office pointing out there's a strong risk in the UK of us not meeting our EU landfill diversion target in 2013 because the government has been too slow at getting more recycling and more energy from waste capacity built. And this follows also a report in December last year from the Institute of Mechanical Engineers saying the same thing and pointing out that the country needs more energy, and it needs more energy from waste, where we're using unrecyclable waste to provide much needed local energy. So the pressure is on now to get recycling up and also get energy from waste capacity brought on stream as well. As a nation, we have had a history of cheap and abundant energy and cheap and abundant landfill. That's all finished now. That is over. And we've been slow at adjusting to the new reality where we have to look for new energy sources, and we also have to do something about our security of supply situation as well. I wrote to the new Secretary of State for the Department of Energy and Climate Change, Ed Miliband, before Christmas, and asked for a meeting on volatile energy costs which badly affect all our members, also the increasingly worrying security of supply situation where we depend on other countries for our supplies of energy. We have very little natural gas storage, and there is a risk, of course, of having blackouts in the future. 2014, 2015 are seen years when this could happen. I think it may well be earlier. So we've asked for a meeting with him on all these issues, also on the potential of energy from waste as well, and we hope in due course to meet with him or one of his ministers and their officials. So I wanted to end on that note, because used plastics is in the public eye, it's in the media, but a lot is happening. Recycling is rising fast. We have to seize the energy from waste opportunity, and at the British Plastics Federation we're trying to do quite a lot about that at the moment. So I'd like to sign off with just those three thoughts. What we're doing about the recession, there are opportunities out there, adversity breeds opportunities, and what we are trying to do about the used plastics situation as well. Thank you very much. I hope you found this valuable.